Good morning, I'm Crystal and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you like my videos, please press the like button, please do subscribe. Good morning, another hot day. It's going to be a bit cloudy but it's still hot. It's terribly warm and at the moment the sun is shining through the window. It wasn't when I got up at 7:30 but it is now. I can't really sleep that well in it. It is really hot. It's lovely, but it is hot. So Sunday morning, I didn't go out anywhere last night, so I haven't got a hangover. Alexa, good morning.
Good morning. On this day in 1937, the world's first emergency phone service launched in London. By dialing 999, residents could quickly alert the emergency services. These days, over 90,000 999 calls are made every day.
It's a lot, isn't it? 90,000. Alexa, what's the time, please?
Good morning, Crystal. The time is 8:08 a.m.
Alexa, what's the date today? Alexa, the date. Alexa, what is the date today?
It's Sunday the 30th of June.
Alexa, what's the weather outlook?
In Rochester, it's 17 degrees Celsius with mostly cloudy skies. Today, you can expect showers, with a high of 21 degrees and a low of 11 degrees.
Alexa, can you tell me a joke?
Knock knock. Who's there? Cows say. Cows say who? No silly. Cows say moo.
Alexa, whose birthday is it today?
Today's famous birthdays include American swimmer Michael Phelps, American boxer Mike Tyson, English actor Tom Burke, English singer, songwriter and television personality Cheryl Ann Tweedy, and American professional wrestler Cody Rhodes.
So, Mike Tyson's birthday today. Alexa, how old is Mike Tyson?
Mike Tyson is 58 years old.
Oh my god. And so Mike Tyson, the boxer, 58 years old. Like I said, we're all getting older, aren't we? Heading on for the big 6-0. My goodness. Yeah, when you've grown up with people and you haven't seen them for a long time and you have a shock. So last night Max and I went out for a walk before well, not bedtime, but we went for our evening walk and it was not too bad. There was a lot of people on the field. It was very hot. It's hard to keep cool. You don't know what to do with yourself. And when you go outside and it's hot, it's inside and it's hot, what can you do? So I have got a spray bottle with a fan on, so you can spray yourself with water and the fan goes around as well, so that's helpful. I've tried every sort of fan this year. So we've got a neck fan, we've got a bottle with a fan on. So we've the tower fan, that was a disappointment. And I'm going to check and see if the money's been returned yet, but it hasn't. It's going to take a while for the money to go into my bank account, I suppose. So another hot day, whether it's cloudy with a bit of showers, it's still going to be hot, you can tell. So it's keeping cool, cooling yourself down in this hot weather. So like I said, I'm on my own, so I switch between the telly, Netflix, radio, trying to keep myself occupied. Yeah, Netflix. Netflix is so full of everything for everybody's taste. You can't get bored of Netflix. I started watching a program about a surgeon that was having an affair with his son's daughter, and I watched a couple of episodes of that, and then I was about to watch Firestarter with Zac Efron in it, and it got to 10:30, and I thought, no, it was just too hot and sweaty, and I just sat and had about 3 or 4 fans in front of me before I tried to settle down for bed last night. Fans everywhere. I still didn't feel cool. Alexa, LBC Radio.
LBC London from Global Player.
Doing with our lives, which wasn't really anything that exciting anyway. But then Section 28 came along and we were suddenly under attack, and we got organised. So that one of the protests against Section 28, which was in Manchester, it was 20,000 people. So that was, more than 3 times the size we'd ever seen on any Pride march before then. And in fact, that in 1988. I think people will check me out on that. Was the largest kind of gay rights gathering, I think, in the world at that point. And then at Pride that year, we saw similar numbers, and the numbers increased to 20,000, 30,000, 50,000. And as those kind of marches got bigger, I think more and more people said to their families, said to their friends, said to their work colleagues, said to the people in their churches, actually, I'm gay, I'm lesbian, I'm queer, I'm trans. And the more people come out, and the more people know that they've got gay people in their families, in their workplaces, in their churches, the harder it is to be prejudiced. I think coming out of the closet is a profound political act, and the more people who are able to do it, the easier it becomes for future generations. And I think that's been the major change, is that we're no longer hiding away.
What a fantastic sort of appraisal of the situation, how things have changed in the UK, and told beautifully. Thank you, Matthew, and I hope you had a fantastic day. So it was Matthew Hodson. And listening to that was Connor Clark, content editor at Gay Star News, also at Pride yesterday, and in fact covered gay pride all over the world. Morning to you, Connor.
Morning, Matthew. Thank you so much for having me.
If I may start with the positive, let's go cut to the rub. Has Pride, as a protest movement, completely succeeded? Has it got as far as it's going to get as the day one?
Look, Matthew, Pride has come a long, long way since it launched in the UK in the 1970s, but has it achieved what it set out to? Absolutely not. I mean, listen, we're seeing record number of hate crimes in recent years. We're seeing the trans community attacked by our own government. We're seeing, people trying to introduce laws that would restrict LGBT discussions in classrooms. So the idea that we've achieved Pride, what Pride set out to do, is very misguided when people say that. I think there's a lot of people in this country who will say, oh, well, what are you guys campaigning for? What's the point, right? And realistically, there's a lot that's still on the table for the queer community. We still have, I think, just to dive straight into it, since I know we're on limited time, I think, we've seen in this country that we've come a long, long way. And what Matthew was discussing there was so moving, because I think since the 1970s, we've seen so much achieved in law, right? Same-sex marriage, blah, blah, blah. But that said, have we achieved societal acceptance? I'm less sure, Matthew. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It does. I don't want to be too misery guts here, but what about the Telegraph article? The Pride flag. I mean, there's basically the inherent criticism is that what started off as sort of gay pride, homosexuals and lesbians, has become all-encompassing. You've got so many minority groups involved that you can no longer represent the gays and lesbians that you originally sought to represent, i.e. the trans thing is destroying gay pride. And that's what I'm reading from it.
Yeah. Ridiculous, Matthew, ridiculous. There is no... listen, I'm someone that has my ear to the community every single day. As you mentioned in your intro, I've covered Pride in Orlando, in Malta, in the UK, you know, all over the world. The one thing that is inherently consistent in these things is that we are not equal until we all are, right? And, you know, when you're looking at this whole thing against the trans community, it's insane because this is, I think it's something like 0.5% of the United Kingdom's population.
Yes.
And the fact there are so many headlines about this community, when actually most of that community just want to live their life in peace.
Absolutely.
I don't know a single trans person who relates to the headlines you're referring to.
Likewise.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
And I talk to them daily, and actually what those headlines do, it hurts them. It's very dangerous, it's very toxic, and it's actually one of the reasons we have Pride. We see these headlines, and we see what they do to the community. It's toxic and it's dangerous. And I really wish that the journalists that sit and write these articles, I really wish that they would consider what they're putting out into the world, because, you know, from being at these prides, as I said, internationally, whether in the UK, whether you're abroad, the one thing that I always hear from people is how concerned and scared they are, quite frankly, about how their rights are weaponised by people on the other side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, forgive me for bringing it back to Pride, but along a similar theme, has the party carnival atmosphere, is that in any way undermining the very serious things that you've outlined?
No, can I tell you why, Matthew?
Please.
The reason why not is because, you know, you have to think, a lot of people that come to these celebrations each year, this is their one place they can feel truly safe. So, for example, yesterday when I was out, I interviewed someone who said, we need Pride because ultimately I can't walk down the street holding hands with another man, feeling completely safe, unless it's at Pride, because you can assume most people there are friendly and accepting. And so while I definitely hear the concerns that some may say that, you know, is it all about drinking or is it all about, you know, just going out and partying? I think two things can be true, right? You can go out and have that fun, but also it exists for a reason, because ultimately there are people who are coming at this community 24/7. So having that one day a year where you know you're safe out in the open, as it were, is really needed. But I definitely hear what people would say about, you know, whether or not it's maybe too focused on that. But I think that's why we have the march and that's why we have the parade. You know what I mean?
And as a result of the march and the parade, we have discussion. And I'm indebted, Connor, both to you and to Matthew for really strong, really clear views setting out why Pride is so important, and perhaps addressing some of the issues that the more cynical cultural aspects of our media have been pumping out there. Pleasure talking to you, Connor. Glad you had a great time. 03456060973 is the number for your thoughts, really. Is there still something to fight for in the gay community? I think Connor's made it very clear that there is. What are you fighting for? Or has the party atmosphere, in your mind, perhaps overshadowed the more important elements of protest? Love your thoughts, and we'll hear them shortly. Plus, we'll be joined by Ian Herbert for a look ahead at the England team's attempt at redemption tonight. I don't know if I can bear to watch all of that after the latest LBC News headlines, again from Amelia Cox.
Rishi Sunak says a Labour government would inflict irreversible damage on the UK as the election campaign enters its final days. A new search for missing teenager Jay Slater in Tenerife has ended with no news, and a 13-year-old boy carrying what turned out to be a pellet gun has been shot and killed by a police officer in upstate New York. LBC weather, sunny across the far southwest, while early rain will clear in the far southeast, becoming cloudy elsewhere with isolated showers, a high of 23 degrees.
LBC Travel, I'm Louise Cookie. It's slow moving on the M4, that's eastbound, because of a breakdown between Junction 5 for Langley and Junction 4B for the M25. The inside lane is closed. Elsewhere in Wanstead, one lane is blocked southbound on the North Circular. That's because of an accident at the Redbridge roundabout. And in the city, it's queuing on the highway. One lane is currently blocked. That's because of an accident westbound at Dock Street. Onto the trains, and there's no service on Great Northern between Moorgate and Finsbury Park, with services being diverted to King's Cross because of engineering works. There are also delays and cancellations on Southern services. That's between Balham and Streatham and Balham and East Croydon after a trespasser was on the tracks earlier on.
This is LBC.
What to give Colin from the office for his birthday? Sure, you know how he feels about spreadsheet maintenance.
Yeah, guys, so I hope everyone has a great Sunday. It is warm, although it is cloudy with sun breaking through now and then. Just trying to cool down in this heat. It makes you get up early. So see you later, everybody.